No.
Yeah, you can get in English. Maybe 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. So basically, I'm going to tell you what it is and everything like that. But basically, why? I mean, maybe this last for itself, but why? Like I'm becoming a Perek Shira like crazy person because because please, I'm going to show it to you. But basically, I would get the bigger one because why not? You know. But anyways, so you go outside and all of a sudden it's kind of like what you were saying in the Torah. You all of a sudden you're like, wow, look at the clouds, look at the sky, look at the sun, look at the stars, look at like, oh my gosh, you're like, and I don't know, all of a sudden in my old age, I'm becoming much more involved, much more connected to nature than I have. Your grandma. Maybe, I don't know, but the birds and everything. And all these things are like, oh my gosh, what do they say? What did we say? What did they say? Everybody has a part in this orchestra. Like somebody translated as Song of the Universe. You know, and that everybody has their over here. What? Okay, so I'm going to give over from there. So don't. Okay. Is this all singing it? Which that little? No. So okay. Let's start with like who wrote Perek Shira? We don't know. Okay, there's a few guesses. One is Dovid Hamelechin. Okay, and you see what basically Perek Shira is like. There's 85 different creations. It starts off with the first chapter, talks about the sun and the moon and the day and the night, and then it goes on to which I don't know about that. It goes the animals and the birds and the trees and the fish and it goes on to different things. And so what? I'm telling you, why do I talk about animals all the time? I wrote into the thing. Why don't you just tell everyone to read Perek Shira? So there's one opinion. There's one opinion that Dovid Hamelechin wrote it. The other opinion is that his son Shlomo Hamelech wrote it. And the thing is about that, like you want to take a vote, what you think. Shlomo Hamelech. Shlomo, why? Why?
And it goes with his other books.
Right. Okay, definitely. Okay, so but Shlomo Hamelech was the first and the original Dr. Dolittle. Shlomo Hamelech knew how to talk to the animals. Oh, I like that, right? Shlomo Hamelech. The next opinion is that they wrote it together. And then the next opinion is that the next opinion is that the Chachamim like 2,000 years later wrote it. 1,000 years later. 1,000 years after Dovid and Shlomo, the Talmud sages of the 2nd century wrote it. Which the truth of the matter is we don't know exactly who wrote it, but once you learn it, you see that it's kind of like you could see how each one of those things could be, and then sometimes you're like, oh, it has to be this. Sometimes it says it has to be that. You know. Okay, so basically, like I said, there's 85 elements of creation who sing song to Hashem, and there's one creation that's missing. Anyone can guess who that would be? No?
Man. Human being.
Okay, and this is very, very important lesson. Okay, we're going to talk about this. Okay, so just we're going to put that on the side. Okay. I got so much information from so many different places, so it's not like Sharby to phone. I just go through the safe. It's not like that because I'm listening to classes. I'm doing that. Okay, so so what does it mean that? Also it says that don't forget this is not like part of Tanakh. It's not Chumash. It's not Tanakh. It's not Megillah Esther. It's just like this whole thing to itself, you know? So what does it mean? So basically what it goes through is the introduction, which is what we're going to do today. And like one of the speakers says, don't skip the introduction. You can't skip the introduction. In fact, when I say Perek Shira, I say the introduction. We're going to go into we're going to say the introduction together. Well, I'm going to say, but we're going to learn it inside the introduction. And then after that, basically says, the spider says, the mule says.
Wow.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's not the deer says. So what we need to do here is say, well, what's the connection? What's connection? Why does the deer say? I'm just randomly telling you. I'm gonna say in English, but it will sing of your might and rejoice towards morning in your kindness, for you have a stronghold to me and a refuge in the day of distress. Okay, so basically, each one of these creations has a pasuk. Mostly it's from Tehillim, not always. Okay, so we have to actually, this is what we need to do. We need to figure out why each creation says a song. Okay, but what's it mean that they sing? They sing. So of course, on this too, there's different interpretations, right? The first interpretation is that each element actually sings a song. They're actually singing. We don't understand them, but that each one of the,
They have their own language.
they have their own language and they sing. So each one of them sings a verse from Tanakh. Okay, that's one of them. I don't really relate to that one as much. Okay, because okay. The next one, which I relate to a little bit more, is that the singing is done by the angel of the creation. Every creation has an angel, that says, angel grass says what? Let the grass grow.
Doba, maybe it's opposite, maybe because the whole creation sentence, they put it in Tanakh.
Well, it's not in Tanakh, it's not part of Tanakh.
No, what I mean, because the whole universe, maybe this was before the Tanakh, maybe this was the whole universe sang the song, and finally.
100%,
then
100%. Not only that, I hope I wrote it down, but I learned that unbelievable there. It says that Hashem, we all have heard this before many times. I don't know if everyone understands it. I don't. Hashem looked into the Torah and made the world.
Yeah.
The Torah was a blueprint of the world. So yeah, he looked at each animal, each thing, and that's how he created the deer. You want to say something?
No,
Oh, so that's okay. 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 So it said that the sages say that if the Torah would not have been given, we would learn. Where would we learn midos from? From the animals. We've learned sneas, modesty from the cat. The cat varies its poopy and whatever. We would learn avoidance of theft from an ant. I don't know so much about all these other things. I wish I did, but I think that what it is that an ant, if it wants to take a piece of food, but it smells that another ant was there before it, it doesn't take it.
But
Yeah.
takes ours.
Right. Don't ask.
We're
What's
not
going on in my kitchen? Marital loyalty. Who did we learn that from? Birds. The doves. You can't in this class call them the birds. I'll get upset.
Okay.
Why? Because
That was a
the birds. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I haven't gone through them, You
Well,
cannot,
I meant the species.
I know, I'm just saying, but it's interesting, and I don't have an answer to this yet, because this is the first time I'm learning this, okay? It says the fish. That's it. Doesn't tell you different kinds of fish, but the birds, he goes wild.
Wow.
And the person who wrote this, my daughter-in-law, gave this to me as a birthday present. It's Rebbe Nachman's explanation of Perek Shira. Pretty cool, huh?
It's
And
all
then-
Hebrew.
Yes. And then I told Reva about it, and I have a copy there for Reva, and I told Judy about it, and I lent her. a
Does
copy.
it come in English?
No, but so anyway, so I looked, I wonder where the guy's from. Diné Adar. How random is that? Well, he gave me he told me the last 2 copies. He said he wants to print it in English. Please.
Okay. Yeah.
I told him it'll go wild. So I told him I'm teaching it to some women, whatever, and I told him that day I went on a Teal with my two sons. You ever go to the Hula Valley to see the birds? Yeah. And I said to him and his wife, today, I said today I went to the yesterday I went to the Hula Valley, and we said if that's not Perek Shira, what is? And like I'm like, so when you learn this, why am I so excited for this? Because it's just I'm just like a crazy woman now. Like I go outside and everything is just like the one on the stars, right? So I was listening to the class and the teacher said, your homework tonight is to go somewhere, your balcony, wherever you can go, lie on your back, stars. And it's like, yeah, like Hashem didn't have to make that one and that one and that one and that. It's like there's a whole system going on. And like I said, I wish I knew more about like the science of all this. Astronomy, birds, everything, you know. But if one star is missing, I think we're in big trouble.
Some stars die.
That's what a falling
Okay,
star is, right?
No.
Okay, no,
Not
but
there.
there's certain parts of the universe that are set up in a certain way that, right. Okay. Okay, so that was, sorry?
Birds, when you check them, you don't have to get both parts of the neck, you only have to get the one part because they're considered more pure. They're more the spirit element, the air element.
Let's wait till we get to birds, which is gonna be in a while. It's,
Come back, tune in tomorrow.
So that's why there's
no.
5 in there.
What?
not One. It's because they're more pure.
Because they're more
Consider
pure? Is this your thought or you saw this somewhere?
Rabbi Rafa explained it, but he got it from the Torah.
No, Rabbi who? Okay.
Rabbi Mo Rafa, but I don't know what his first name really is. It's Rafa. He's from Egypt.
And he talked about Perek Shira, or did he talk about Perek Shira?
He was talking about birds,
Oh, cool.
but
Maybe you could send me like where it is.
he is.
I just don't want to talk about birds now because I want to get to the introduction first. But interesting.
There's
Yeah.
a reason why there's 5.
I know, but there's more than 5, first of all, and I'm sure there's a reason. Is it sure? Sure, there's a reason. Okay, so the first, we said that maybe that each one possibility that each creation does sing. The second one is that the angel of each creation is he is the one to sing, like that we said that it says in the Gemara that each blade of grass has an angel appointed over it, right? It says grow, right? So the angel appointed of the spider is the one who's sings us. So that's that interpretation, okay? The third explanation is that the song isn't actually sung, but each element has a specific function, and we need to learn its lesson and significance in order to serve Hashem properly, which is basically what this class is going to be about. What are we learning from all these animals, all these creations that are singing to Hashem? And I'll just go forward a little bit, even though it's like an orchestra. It really is. It's like you know, like if you've ever done anything to do with music, and it's like if you would hear just one part, it can sound like kind of boring. Like one part is just going dun 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 dun, and another part is going you know, but when you put it together, you know what I mean? I'm not musical either. Anyway, so that's what it is. The song of the universe that each one is singing, and then we're like kind of the conductor. And we're saying it all. How do we bring it all together? By saying Perek Shira. Because we want each thing. We want to learn and to know and to bring out to the world what the spider says, what the dog says, we want to do all that. But how do we do it all? How do we do it? So you say by saying Perek Shira, we bring the whole thing. But it's also what you said in the Divine Torah is that everybody benefits. Okay. And then the other thing is the blueprint, right? Which is kind of like what Leah was saying, right? That Hashem looked into these verses, and then that's how he created the dog, the cat, the spider, the tarantula. I want to just show you one of my favorite pictures because, you know, in the beginning, and I was just like, first of all, this book is gorgeous pictures. This art girl, I think this one's better. But one of my favorite pasukim is Eshtacha Geffen Korea. You know, your wife should be like a Geffen Korea, like a fertile grapevine, right? So Geffen Korea, and then it says your children should be like olive shoots around the table, right? Like it's like a woman who gets married and she wants to have a lot of children. Like it's a puzzle that speaks to me, right? So Jill, I think it's Jill. I'm gonna find it 1 second. I didn't mean to tell you this because, like I said, I wanted to go in order, but this is like the introduction class. Look at this frog. Look at this frog. Don't tell me you don't like frogs. I know. I love this picture. And so this, right. So here it is. Yeah, it's from Tehillim. So you think which animal would you think would say that about having a lot of children, and your children are going to give you nachas? Oh, no way.
What is that?
Oh, that's a gecko. Yeah, it's a lizard. It's a gecko.
I love this picture. Boy, my husband thought it's crazy. Why? I said, this is like a pregnant woman. She just can't move. But look, she's smiling. She's smiling. She's lying there going, oh my gosh. Could somebody just like open the window? No, close the window. No, open the window. No. You know what I mean? I just love this picture. Look how she's smiling. Anyways, they call it shratzim. Elim shratzim. The shratz. This is a cheretz. Here they do shratzim, and then the shratzim that have a lot of babe. This is shratzim that are prolific.
Yeah.
Prolific. Have lots of babies. This is, like I said, I got this
Ask
for my
people
birthday,
in
right?
Florida, the lizards are
Everywhere?
prolific.
Okay, there you go.
They're
So
in
this
Miami,
is
they're
the
trying
letter
to-
that my kids wrote me when they gave me this for my birthday, and this is the very incredible artistry that my granddaughter.
You better frame that.
I know, well,
Don't wrinkle it in.
Yeah. Okay, so we said this part is like so beautiful. Which creation is missing? Man, right? So basically, it's saying that the whole Perek Shira is the song of man. Okay, why? Because man is a microcosm of the universe, right? Man is a microcosm of the rest of creation. Hashem put all the traits of each one into us. Examples are like growing, we learn from the trees and the flora and the grasses, right? Cunning, we learn from
The fox.
right. And hardworking, we learn from ants. Strength, the lion. Swiftness, the deer. Okay, right. So all of nature is incorporated into us. Okay. Now this is probably one of the most beautiful things I've ever learned in my life. There cannot be one share for all of mankind. True. So true. To be endly, yeah. And everybody has their own song. What is my song? What is your song? That's our job, is to write our own song.
Although a lot of times you can do like harmony, one verse with
That's true, but that's not your song. But that's not your song. That's not Sippy's song.
But it's all of mankind's song.
No, but we're not right. So but that would be a harmony. That would not be each person. Each one of us, we have to learn, what are we here for? I've said this many times. The Siva Shalom says a person who live in this world 70, 80, 90, 100 years, doing mitzvahs, davening, learning, but they didn't fulfill their mission. And that's that whole thing when you said you are what you hate. I just think, we're not supposed to whatever. Each creation was unilaterally created by Hashem, right? Now, how did Hashem create something? What did he do?
Spoke.
What did he say?
Let there be.
There be, and there was.
And what happened when he created man? Let us make man. Let us make man. Now, yeah, so each thing he said, let there be stars. And there were stars. Let there be fish. And there was, I keep getting those.
That's right.
Hashem simply had to say, and it was, right? It was everything that is created was created by divine decree by Hashem himself, except for man, where he says, let us make man. Yeah, they did, yeah. So who's us? Us is every human being that will ever live.
But he's saying, let us make man.
It's every human being who will ever exist. Hashem is saying, I can't make you like I made the other creatures. I can't do because you know, I can give you the raw materials, which are what? The body and the soul. That's it. That's what I can do. But we have to use those raw ingredients to become the best we can be, and each of us have to write our own song. So this is something that's so important during this whole time that we've learned this. We have to think about what we really, anything you learn in the Torah has to be practical. That's why we're not here like a bunch of scholars getting together to learn, you know, information, data. You know, we're here to how to get closer to the Eibishter. Nikuda. You know, and you're going to see how it's just how that helps us. So you know, yeah, I said I don't want to do this till the last class, you know, but it's part of the introduction because hopefully maybe by the end, or maybe people keep journals or something, we could think like when something comes up, we can think, okay, that's part of my song. You know, some people do things like they write journals. Not write journals. What do I like about myself? I hate those things, but you know, whatever. All those, you know, all these self-help tell you it's the first thing you have to do, right? Right? Yeah, I think you like them, you know. And not I can cook because that's God's given, you know, whatever talent that they give, you know, whatever. So anyway, so hopefully this will also be a little bit of a what do you call it? Getting to know yourself.
Self-help.
Yeah. I didn't want to use like self-help because I don't like that. Okay, so now Hashem is not enhanced by our praise. Hashem is not enhanced by anything we do. He doesn't. That's not the point. But he's not enhanced by our praise or lessened by our praise, by our complaints. Right? Nothing we do changes Hashem. Everything in the universe was created so people would be able to recognize the glory of the one who created everything. Not to benefit him, but us. So every time we see something and we see something wondrous in the world, it's not because God, you did a great job. Call it a vote. You know, no. It's like, well, thank you, Hashem. Thank you for all the stars. Thank you, Hashem, for cats and dogs and everything that we have in this world. All the different now we go crazy with the wildflowers. Doesn't anybody like hello? You know, like I'm not all like amazed by that. Okay, so listen to this. Yahushua was in a war, right, to conquer Eretz Yisrael. And so what does he tell the son? Stop. Stop. Don't set yet. But the words are that when night was coming, Yahushua said, Shemesh begivon dom. So the sun didn't set until Yahushua's victory was complete. Okay, fine. But Yahushua didn't say stop. He said dom, which means he silenced the sun. He said, the sun, you can't sing your share now. This is from a Medrash. So, but if the sun wasn't going to sing, there's something missing in the share of the world. So what happened? The Medrash says that Yahushua sang a song instead. So Yeshua knew about all this that we're talking about, that you can't just say, son, stop, be quiet. But we can't do that. Everything's gonna be, whoa, what's wrong there? I don't know. The son didn't sing its song, So Yeshua knew he had to fill it in for it. That's how important it is that each of these creations sing their songs. Okay, this is a direct quote from here. It says, when do they sing? When do each of these creations sing? Mornings. That's one of the commentaries suggests that's what we should sing, but every second. Don't forget, we're talking about animals are not. Thank you. I was gonna make a joke and then say they don't have the errands to do. What the Bulima appointments or whatever. They're constantly singing their share. This is a constant thing. Okay. And their song are verses that express the God ordained tasks that Hashem gave them. Oh, God ordained, right? That's what they're singing. They're singing what their task is in the world, which is what Hashem, what we're going to find out. Each creature serves Hashem perfectly without interruption, for it does what it was created to do. It cannot do otherwise.
So when I was very, very close to the beginning becoming observant, and I was in the most over. And it's a whole story of how I got there. But I remember writing this whole poem, and unfortunately it got lost, over I don't know where it is now. Years and years and years. But I remember one line that I began the poem with. A tree never asks, what should I be?
Exactly. I even wrote over here. The elephant does. Where did I write it? An elephant doesn't wake up in the morning and decide to be a bird, which is what our people are doing now.
Yes. I don't even go there.
Oh, thank you. So exactly. Every creation was, and it's okay with it. That's the other thing. Can you imagine? They're not like,
They're not struggling.
Why can't I be a
Or-
snake?
right? Or I don't even know what I am. Shit, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
So, yes.
Yeah.
Man rises to the level of Shira when he perceives that the world never spins haphazardly. That's like a major point of Perek Shira, is that there is a system.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hashem gives strength to the angels and ministers of all the creations so they can recite these songs. And through this strength provided by man, the heavenly angels and ministers draw their life and the influence of flow upon the lower creatures. It's basically, it's almost like a give and take type of thing, okay? What time is it? Oh.
It's 22:12.
Okay. So I highly recommend also that you look up whatever you can find on Perek Shira, and you'll find, that's what my husband did. I don't have his computer. I don't have to turn it on. So there's a lot of, and you'll see all these beautiful things, and also, like, let's say you feel like you want to learn something, but you're tired or whatever, you can get this great class with beautiful photography and music, and like the song of the bird, the song of the song of this, and you're just like, there's a couple different institutions that are on YouTube. I don't know.
I think you can just Google it.
I just put in Perek Shira, and there's all these different ones. There's Shirim. I ordered a book from Tor Jones, it didn't come yet. I'll show it to you and we'll see what that's all about. Okay, so what's the point of Perek Shira? Humans are egocentric and self-centered and lazy by nature. That's the way Hashem made us. Okay, the Ramchal says that Ramchal Messias Shar, he starts it off by saying this is what we are. Okay.
You're industrious.
Yeah, okay. No, we're made of, but the whole thing is, my husband was listening to this in the background, he was really enjoying it. We're made of matter, right? That's what we are. We're made of matter. We move only if what? We're pushed, right? If we're moved or pushed, we don't just move. We don't, we don't automatically move unless something moves us. Okay? Adam is from the word Adama, right? Right? When we look at nature, we can feel very small, right? We see all these expanse and they just do their thing. It doesn't even look like they're trying. Yeah, so what's the point of all that? It's to teach us humility. Okay. And at the Seder, this is really cool. At the Seder, there's the part, right, where we open up the door. So people didn't have apartment buildings, but there people literally used to open up the door, right, and look outside and see the sky, right, and they would look at the moon, which was full at that time, right, and that Hashem did that on purpose. So when the neighbors would leave, there'd be a lot of light. So if you look at this is like so beautiful. He said, when you look at that moon, and it's dafka at the Seder, when you go outside and look at the moon, you could be thinking that's the exact same moon that the Bnei Israel saw, and the exact same moon that other people saw. And it's doing great. What about us? We come, go, we're like, but the moon, it's always there. It's very, very, very reliable, right?
And it's the same moon that they see on the other side of the world.
Right. Okay, so I just want to make sure I covered everything because we're talking in the book and outside the book. Okay, so now I just wanted to read this thing over here. Okay, so this is from the Chida that says he's quoting his grandfather, I think, Hesed Abraham. And he says, Kulam Yishlem Sarim. Everybody has like we talked about this, right? Everybody has like a agent, a minister that controls him. Otam Sarim him Ishbahu, and they praise Hashem and they rule all the creations. And each one of them has basically, I realize I said this already outside, basically how they each have their appointed appointed shlichas, and that each one of them sings it, right? Okay. I say we did that. And this is a introduction to Perek Shira from Reb Chaim Vital, who was the main student of the Ari. It's the same thing. Okay, we said this. Okay, each one. The truth of the matter is, the reason I wanted to read this is to show you that it's not just like it's very like here's something. Reb Chaim Vital wrote an introduction to Perek Shira that shows. I'm just giving it more chashivut. You know what I mean? Sorry. Yeah. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. So now, what time is it? Okay, 15 minutes. Okay, so I'll tell you what we're going to do now. We're going to start. Perek Shira is like I said, one of these speakers I was listening to was like, don't skip the introduction, and he even gives the example of Mesilas Yesharim, that in Mesilas Yesharim's introduction, if you don't read it, you're going to be lost. It tells you what he wants to do. So the introduction is very, very interesting.
It's like a guide to the book.
Well, no, let's see it. Actually, I'm not going to read this in Hebrew. There's no reason to. It's not like, it's not like Tehillim or something like that where you have to. Okay. So here, like, this is all the art scroll introduction, but Perek Shira starts with the introduction. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like when I say Perek Shira, I say this, right? It says on the top, it is commendable to recite this introduction before reading Perek Shira. Okay, so I guess I don't have another one with English. Okay, so I'm just gonna read the English, okay? So the first one says, it's like mind-boggling. The first, like there's these things, okay? These are, the first three is just different, very, very important Chachamim who talk about the importance of reading Perek Shira. And the last one, which I do not think we're gonna do today, is this wild story with the frog. Okay, because you have to understand it. You can't just read it because it's just so cool. Okay, so Rabbi Yehuda Anasi said, so first of all, Rabbi Yehuda Anasi is the one to Mishnah together. Like we're talking about a big person, okay? He said, whoever is engrossed in Perek Shira in this world will merit to learn, teach, observe, perform, and fulfill, and his Torah learning will remain with him. So first of all, he says engrossed. He says, Kolos osek Perek Shira. But osek means you're busy with it. It means you're basically learning it. You're not only saying it. It does not say that about Tehillim. You know, Tehillim Perek, you could just open up and say it. But in Perek Shira, the Chachamim are saying we need to learn it. Which makes sense, obviously, because why is this saying this and why is that saying that? You know, okay. And then also, it's what we just said is that that's a pretty heavy duty promise, right? You will merit to learn, teach, observe, perform, and fulfill, and his Torah learning will stay with him. Ask Judy, we talk about this all the time. We say, oh, remember, I forgot. We're like, oh, when you forget something from Torah, it's torture. But, you know, so that's a nice promise. He will be rescued from the evil
Inclination.
Thank you, Zara. From an evil occurrence and from something called Mabuta Kever. Mabuta Kever, jostling in the grave. It's not like a nice thing that you talk about. It's like this thing that happens sometimes when a person dies and they go from here into there and yeah, it's not something you want to talk about. What? Not in, yeah. So that's nice. That's a good, that's motivating. You know, that's a good thing. From the judgment of Gehenna and from the birth pains of Mashiach. And he will live long and merit to live in the days of Mashiach to the life of the world to come. Okay, so that's the first one of the promise, okay? The second one is from Rabbi Eliezer, and that says, whoever recites this song in this world will merit to sing it in the world to come. So if you're singing something in the world to come, what does that mean? It means you're in the world. Yeah. So if he's promising you that if you sing this in this world, you're going to get there too. Okay. As it says, you know, we all know that it says Moshe Rabbeinu, it says Az Yashir Moshe. Then Moshe will sing, right? And so they're saying that Az Yashir, meaning in the world to come. Whoever sings the Perek Az Yashir will be singing in the world to come. And actually, the Tzfat Emes says that Perek Shira is that shir. This is the song that we're all going to sing when Mashiach comes. Yeah, you know, we're blown away. And a few people. What?
Learn it by heart.
So yeah, so you could do it. Yeah, right. Okay. This is the last one. I think we're going to end with that. Whatever. Okay, this is Rabbi Eliezer Agadol. It's a different person. He's one of my favorites from Rabbi Eliezer ben Horkinis. He's called Agadol because he was Gadol. He was great. Whoever is engrossed, yeah. Whoever is engrossed, like we said, sick, in this Perek Shira every day, I testify about him that he's destined for the world to come. That he will. You have to understand, like the Shira is listening to. Where do you see this about Shabbos? Where do you see this about anything else? Who were you listening to? I was listening to a few. What? I was on Torah Anytime. Look up in Torah Anytime. I was listening to a few of them.
Torah Anytime.com.
And his was Silver. His name was Rav Silver. And very good. I don't usually listen to audios because I'm a visual person, but I was able to pay attention and take notes, whatever. But he said, what do you Silver? Silver.
I was involved in silver.
No, well, with the B.
Oh, silver.
Silver.
I'm sorry.
But then you see there's this Rav Mashiach Kalati. He's from England and he makes lots of funny jokes. And he has pictures. And then Rav Mashiach Kalati. But there's this thing called the Song of the Universe. Yeah, the Song of the Universe where they did it like, they really did it like kind of like professionally with the music. Beautiful, really beautiful. Okay. I testify about him that he's destined for the world to come, that he will be rescued from an evil current, from the evil inclination, from a harsh judgment, from Satan, and from every manner of destruction and those that harm him. God says to him, study with all your heart and all your soul to know my way, to safeguard the doors of my sanctuary and to my Torah, and to observe my commandments and decrees. Guard my Torah in your heart and let fear of me be opposite your eyes. Safeguard your mouth and tongue from all sin and guilt. Then I will be with you wherever you go, and I will teach you discernment and understanding of every subject. This is a quote, okay? You should know that whatever the Creator created, he created it only for his glory. And then he quotes a pasuk from Isaiah about that basically says that everything he created for his glory. We'll leave it at that. It definitely has to, we have to explain it. Okay, we have a few more minutes, but I'm not going to go into the frog now. I'll just tell you the story because it's just, yeah. What? No, I'll tell you it. It's like, so it's so funny because I have a kid's book about it. I have a kid's book and I was looking for it since I have for millions of years and I found it. I forgot to bring it. So the Dovid Hamelechin finishes. I'm not making this up. I would never make this up. This is totally in here. It says Dovid Hamelechin finishes his Sefer Tehillim and he becomes haughty. And he says, who could sing more praises to you than me? Ribbit, a frog comes along. Just look at this little froggy. Where are you? Isn't he cute? Yeah. That other bucket, the frog is not as cute. Here's the frog. He comes up and he says, Dovid Hamelechin, don't think you're so great. Do you know how many songs I sing? I sing 1,005. Right. That's the other very important. I sing 1,005 songs, and on all one of those songs, there's 3,000 parables. So, yeah, exactly. So a little bit about this is that, so what's going on here with this frog, right? So basically, man has free will, right? And so he's saying that sometimes we sing Hashem's praises, right? And sometimes we don't. Sometimes we're like, thanks, Hashem, thank you so much that my kid just spilled a whole container of eggs all over my roast, whatever, everyone has their things, or, you just run for the bus and the driver is a jerk and he goes with whatever, whatever it is, thanks Hashem, but animals are not, the creations are not like that. They inherently know that everything's good, that everything's perfect. This is our avodah. We have to work on this, right?
Animals don't have ego.
Right. Exactly. Right. The frog and other their creations they're in a constant state of praise. That's what the frog was saying. The frog was saying to Dovid Hamelechin. They don't deviate. They don't say that, one day they don't wake up and they say, even if they don't have enough food, whatever they have, they're just in their same mode, right? They never deviate from the divine will that they were there because they're programmed by
They're
Hashem.
always in a state of being, like of their creation, of how they were breathing. They're not all over
Right,
the place.
right. And that is, in a way, that is why angels in a way are higher than that. But what does an angel do? Excuse me, I have to show you. What does an angel do? Stands. They don't move, which is why we do that when we say Kedusha, right?
No, they,
What?
No, they don't fly.
They might,
yeah, but
they sometimes do.
but their feet are still put together. They only have one foot.
Right, right. There's it, right. Listen to this before you go. Sephardeia is the gematria of 444. If you think I came up with any of this, this is Sephardeia is gematria 444, which is the same gematria as Nefesh David, soul of David.
What has the same?
Frog.
Wow.
It's the same as David.
Yeah, Nefesh David. Okay, now this is, I love this explanation. What are we talking about? Did a frog really come up to Dovid Hamelechin and talk to him? Sure. Okay. Everybody has. So according to Rabbi Nachman, the frog is really Dovid Hamelechin himself. Right? No, it's him saying, hold on a second. Get down from your hind legs. Look at the frog. Like I do this. This is how I understand that the frog came by and he was like, "What am I talking about?" You know, the frog he sings all the time. The frog is all these different, you know, whatever. So basically, like we said, the frog equals Dovid Hamelechin's nefesh. Shem's Dovid Hamelechin's nefesh was saying to him, Don't go higher. Go higher. You did tell him. You did say for tell him. That's great. But now what are you gonna do? You're gonna go, well, that was great. I taught a whole series on Charlie Tzfat. I think now I'll like go to Italy. No. Now I'm gonna do something else. You know, like whatever. I still teach Charlie Tzfat. But what else can we do now? Which is like such a, you know, with the bus Medrash, growing. This is it says a Jew is like, I used to hate this. They say Jew is like a person on a moving escalator. If you're not going up, you're going down. They're like, no, it's not true. That's not true. I don't like that.
I don't know.
I don't like it.
Because we don't like it doesn't mean it's not true.
Right. And the other thing is, you want to know something? I don't know if this is like really crazy and it's unbelievable. Maybe you guys know about this. My son took me to this place, it's very close and it's like it's from Chatzor Nebira, this gorgeous road. Gorgeous, just beautiful, just trees and everything. And we're going along the road, and he said, and then there's like a fork in the road, right? And the fork in the road is like going down, but it's really not. He said, you see that fork in the road? Yeah. He said, yeah, it's really going up. I know he takes drugs, but not that. I mean, he said, watch. We go there. He puts the car in neutral. We start going backwards. Wow. It's an optical illusion. There's different places that have that. This is one of them. Yeah. He said, really fun. You can get out, take a ball and do it. You know, but he did that. I'm like, I'm tripping. You know, like it's really super cool. Yeah. It's just like, oh, he goes, what? Because you see it's going down. No, it's a small, tiny road that you might kill me if you go in there with a car. It's like, it says on it, bumpy road. It's a bumpy road, but it's just so cool. This optical illusion thing that you go down. I mean, you don't go down, you just go, you put the car in neutral, and all of a sudden you go backwards. Like, what the heck is that? Yeah, maybe some magnetic force. Yeah, okay, it's 12 o'clock. So we're gonna go, B'ezras Hashem, we're gonna go more into the frog. And yeah, I hope if anyone has any questions or anything. No, what?
You want to turn that off?
Yeah.
One of the
Okay, what's that mean, chat? Can I find it, what that means? No, listen, I have absolutely no problem of you bringing anything. If you see, I'm a stickler for sources. If you're gonna tell me I heard that I'm not so interested in that, What? No, how do you find it with the two person on the chat?
Oh, participants, go over to participants.
Chat?
No?
Just click on that.
Here,
Aiming to be there.
excellent.
Oh.
That was Ray,
Uh,
Dr. Ray.
yeah. Okay, now how do we turn it off?
Down there, I don't know.
You know,
I don't know. Judy,
Okay.
Judy,
If you go like, if you turn, it's just close it, does it turn off? Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it did. Okay.